Hey everybody, Chris here. We have Dogecoin in a classic falling wedge pattern. What does that mean? What's the outlook going from here? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. My next live stream, Thursday evening, late afternoon, evening time, is going to be the epic annual Chris Pack's crypto tax live stream. Yes, bring all your questions about crypto taxes. I'll do my best to answer them. Again, not financial advice, and I'm not a tax advisor or a lawyer, but I have a lot of experience looking at crypto taxes, and I present all of the information in an easily digestible manner. So please join in and let's talk taxes. Very exciting, I know. But first, it's like, what the heck happened last night after the FOMC? We were doing a nice pump during FOMC and then afterwards pulled back. I was expecting crypto to just kind of bleed out sideways for a bit as the volume went down, and instead we dumped a little more. What does that mean, and what's this falling wedge? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're at 13.8. That's right, 13.8 cents for Doge. Not the price we want, but it's the price we have right now. And we are hugging the bottom of the dreaded brown box. That's right. The dreaded brown box. That's where Dogecoin is. Bitcoin is at $90,000, not quite at the bottom of its brown box. ETH hitting at 3,200, and it is not down at the bottom of its brown box, but Doge is. So this is what we had the trading yesterday. We had during the FOMC, we had this nice move up. And as I said, it was like, well, it's not really so much what happens during FOMC and immediately after, it's what happens the next day or two. That's going to be the real move. And it ended up being last night. We ended the live stream with Dogecoin kind of trending sideways a bit at 14.4. And then overnight, we had this secondary dump down to 13.8, which is where we are now. What does this look like, and what's the falling wedge? Well, let's get into it first. It's like, we thought November was bad. Well, here's December. Suffering, but festive. I'm just like, But here we are, right? Again, the thesis in looking back now, October 10th, we'll show that on the chart again and what that looks like and what that triggered, as well as looking at the overall bear market, which unfortunately, there's going to take some specific catalyst to get Doge out of its bear. Could the classic falling wedge pattern be something that causes Doge to move up? We'll look at that. Today, the top U.S. senators meet with Bank of America, Citi, and Wells Fargo CEOs to discuss crypto legislation. And it's just like, oh man, the banks, poor Satoshi Nakamoto, rolling in his grave or on the beach, wherever he is, just shaking his head, because it's just like, the governments and the banks are coming after your crypto. We may not have another bull market like we just had, 23, 24, and just the beginning of 25 until Trump messed it all up with the tariffs. It's the banks. It's the banks. Now, I got into crypto to get away from the banks, right? And here they come with their greedy little paws coming in to mess with our crypto because they want to make money off it because they missed out, right, on all the previous bull runs. They missed out because they were totally anti-crypto, and now they're like, oh, we can come in and we can, legislate crypto? The largest banks in America are now shaping the rules. That tells you everything. That's where we are. Why is the market dumping? Even after a bullish Fed FOMC, it was bullish. Well, there was the front-running pump, right? And we had that. Right? Market was going up when the Fed actually announced the rate cut and $40 billion this month in T-bill purchases. The whales started taking profits. This created the first leg of the sell-off. Future rate cuts uncertainty. We talked about that. I was already saying there's probably only going to be one rate cut in 2026. They were already talking about that with the previous dot plots. So this shouldn't have been news, but Powell's press conference added the layer of uncertainty. He said the labor market is weak, inflation's still too high, and the new dot plot showed chances of only one cut in 2026. The market saw that as a bearish signal. But you saw it back in September, the same thing. It shouldn't have been news. So after the US stock market closed, the real dump started. So that was the real move. We can talk about Oracle earnings. I don't really look at that. I mean, from the stocks, right? So aftermarket stock with Oracle dropping down 11%. It's like that doesn't cause crypto to drop, but the AI bubble, is AI all in a bubble? I mean, there's a lot of money has gone into those AI stocks, that's for sure. But so all three factors hit the market at the same time. Rate cut fully priced in, liquidity trades front run. Powell didn't give a strong easing signal, nor should he have. Oracle earnings triggered fear about AI and tech. Profit taking started. So all of that combination created the clean dump. But the Fed now cut rates 3 times in 3 meetings. They're buying $40 billion in T-bills. T-bill purchases may remain elevated. Powell said a rate hike is not anyone's base case, right? So they're not going to be raising rates going forward. Fed expects solid economic growth. Job gains were overstated, meaning labor market is softer than assumed. And a softer labor market gives the Fed more flexibility to ease again if needed. So that's what happened. And I agree with that. We do have yesterday's FOMC, the most dovish since 2021, right? Powell was actually pretty good. Quantitative tightening ended on December 1st. Fed's going to buy T-bills. We got Hassett, who's a Coinbase advisor. Looks like he's going to be the one replacing Powell as the Fed chair in May 2026. All tailwinds for Bitcoin, despite the suppressed price action. So we're still going down, though. We're still going down. So we have Bitcoin, right, turning around. The super trend is over, right? We've turned the corner. We dropped below the 50-week moving average. The market's looking bearish. Tesla stock, that's up. Gold is up. Apple stock is up. Russell 2000 just hit a new all-time high yesterday. We saw that, right? S&P 500, NASDAQ, Dow, all up, but not crypto. Crypto is very bearish. James Wynn says, look, it's going lower, 60K. $90,000 of Bitcoin just feels expensive. 60K will begin to feel cheaper. Buy when it feels cheap. Sell when it feels expensive. I mean, that's easy to say now, right? But he's been shorting since Bitcoin was up in the 120s. He did have a few moments, though, where he was bullish. You can see it in his tweets, but yeah, he's feeling bearish too. And of course, we look at the heat maps, right? And there's all this liquidity up here from 95 to 98K, like tons of money up here. But the exchanges and the market makers, I mean, they go after little bits, right, of the shorts here and there. Anytime there's a little hint of something where they can bring the price up, but it's harder for them to bring the price up. It's easier to bring it down. And this down here at 84K right there, hundreds of millions of dollars sitting there, that's a target. That's a big target right there. Even though it's not yellow like these, huge shorts, it's just easier for them to drop the price. And we look at this a lot on my channel just to gauge, right, the up and down action. Ethereum, where could the bearish move end? On the daily time frame, ETH is undeniably strongly bearish, consistently printing lower highs, lower lows, showing heavy selling pressure. The small bounce these past days is just a pull back within the bigger trend. It's actually a pull up, right? Because the trend is still down. We'll look at Doges in just a minute. The flag support sits around 3,000. A breakdown from that level could be a clean short entry to target even lower, maybe down to 2,100. So this is a mini relief rally that we've had, which has now ended with the FOMC and the dump after, which we showed has happened the last 3 FOMCs. So, I mean, that's going into Christmas. It's like, that's not what we want to see. Could we still get a Santa rally following a further dump and more leverage flushing? We could. So what does this mean for Doge? So here it is, right? Thank you, Bitcoin Census, for the chart. Falling wedge pattern, typical, right? You see the pullback, and then we get up and down, up and down, up and down, but it's lower highs, lower lows. And guess where this starts? October 10th. Look at that big wick all the way down to 9.5 cents. Huge wick, flushed out all that leverage and liquidity out of the exchanges. We had the recovery because people were buying, right, at those prices, right? There was a lot of buying going on, brought the price back up. And we were floating around, 20 cents. We re-hit 20 cents as resistance here, right near the end of October. And since then, it's just been the classic falling wedge. And here we go again, right? Another pullback happening. Eventually, this will break out, right? This will break out. But what does it take to do that? Right now, the sentiment is really bad in the market, and it's really tough. It's really tough to get that to happen. Now, I talked about X money yesterday. If you didn't see that video, do check that out. I gave you the whole update on what's happening with Elon Musk and X money, the X platform, the things we know and the things that we suspect are coming. So that was good. And that is, we don't want to hope and pin all of our hopes on the Dogecoin price with Elon, but we have seen that a lot of the big moves in Dogecoin's past, over the past 4 years, has all been based on Elon Musk. Is Doge overpriced at 13.8? I don't think so. 20 cents at this point may be overpriced, but not 13.8. This could be a fair value price right now for Dogecoin. But Dogecoin really doesn't go by those same rules because it is still a meme coin and can fluctuate wildly. But that October 10th, right, that's where the whole market changed. That was the end of the bull market overall, because right before that, Bitcoin had hit a new all-time high. On the 6th of October, it was at 126,200, and that may have been the high for this whole cycle. And now we're fighting it, right? And we keep looking at, God, is this the breakout? Is this the breakout? Is this the breakout? Well, hasn't happened yet. And we still have guys like Alan, right, who are just like, well, Dogecoin is holding strong at a key support level, potentially setting the stage for a massive surge to $1. And that's just ridiculous. Come on, Alan, right? Come on. Where the heck do you get this, right? It's just like, why this spiked back in November based on the Trump presidential win and Elon Musk and Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency and all that, right? That's why you had that. How do you get to 600% gain? Where does that come from? What causes that? Now, if X money launches and Dogecoin is integrated into it, maybe I could see something like that. That would be hugely bullish for Dogecoin. And we'd get the FOMO kicking in and retail traders kicking in, people selling their other memes to get in on the Doge action. But at this point, we're falling, right? This is not, it's the long-term key support level that we looked at from the beginning of 2024 to the end of 2024. Those bottoms, we've touched it a couple times. We had April, the 13-cent dip on that big pullback on the Trump tariffs. And here we are again, barely holding on. But the market overall, indecisive now at this level, going sideways at 13.8. We'll check in on the price on the live stream, but we're going to talk more about taxes again tonight. And you're like, Chris, why are you talking about taxes in December? Because in December, you have the opportunity to do something about it before the end of the year. If you want to do tax loss harvesting or anything I'll tell you what all that is in the live stream on Thursday afternoon. So make sure you subscribed, you got your notifications on, and we're going to talk taxes. Yeah, we'll touch on the charts and we'll have our other usual fun that we have during our live streams, but it's going to concentrate more on taxes today. So bring your tax questions. I'll do the best I can. Give it in a friendly way, right? The best I can. But let me know in the comments below, what do you think of right now this falling wedge pattern and how you feel about Dogecoin. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.